This woman, Kanani Danielson, causing some of the problems that Mike Jordan of New Mexico State was afraid of. A real mismatch with his setter degrees and her big kills, her big arm.
And one thing Coach Jordan from New Mexico State was talking about was maybe changing the lineup a little and spinning it around, but they're still going with Whitney Woods, number 23 at left front. They score best when they're receiving serve with her in the front row. So they're going to go with that again. If it goes like it did in set number 1, I'd expect them maybe to change that and put her somewhere else, what we call spin the dial in volleyball, because you can choose, you have a set lineup of 6, but you can choose any one of those 6 to be your first server.
First server choice for Hawaii was Aneli Cubi-Otineru, and she served out. Went for a tough serve.
And so it goes to Giddens now.
New Mexico State 0-6 when hitting below 100, so they really need to raise their hitting percentage, certainly. And we're seeing some problems getting this set started.
New Mexico State had something to build on, though, because, you know, UH has a 23-match win streak, but they gave up 4 sets in that whole time, and 2 of those 4 were in the 2 matches these two teams faced each other. But if New Mexico State keeps passing over the net like that for these easy kills and points for Danielson, it's going to be over in a hurry.
So, Karcher, you're coaching now with the women's national team. What would you tell a team when they're just not performing the way that they should right now with New Mexico, with the overpasses, the mental mistakes?
Well, the first thing I would say is don't aim right on top of the net, because if you miss it by 3 inches, Danielson's going to crush that thing. Aim your pass 3 feet off, 4, 5, 6 feet off, so at least your setter can put up a hittable ball. But as soon as you try to put it right on top of the net, that's when Danielson's going to eat it up. There's a nice, exactly. That was about 3 feet off the net, and that's perfect. And Hawaii can run its whole offense, and there was no risk of that ball going over. That would be something that New Mexico State could work on the other side.
Beautiful rhythm to that play. All started with the pass, finished by Brittany Hewitt's kill. Outside push for New Mexico State. They're just trying to get something going offensively. Mafua, pretty hands. And of course, Kanani Danielson unloads. Another kill for Kanani Danielson, her 5th so far.
And you could see how Hawaii's trying to make the front row outside hitter for New Mexico State do a lot of work. So they just served number 28 Altermat. Let's see if they do that again. Nope, it drifts away. So Altermat can worry about hitting without having to make the pass first.
Danielson versus Woods, but a little hole in the block. Danielson drove through it.
Having some really nice court sense, Danielson did. Knew the setter would probably be running up, trying to get the tip. She throws it deep into the open area, and easy point in the corner. There's the serve. That pass goes too close to the net again. And part of it is that serve goes to the front row hitter, number 28, Krista Altermat. And what they're doing is making her do more of the work. They make her pass first before she gets to go hit. And that's extra work. Some rare hitters can actually be better when they have to do all the work. Here, there, they go at her again to her right. And that's 4 hits.
One of the problems for Mike Jordan is that he told us before the match, she's their best passer. He said that Krista Altermat is their best passer. She's a calming influence.
He didn't expect her to get this many serves. If it's not going well for her, that's trouble for New Mexico State.
New Mexico State is having some trouble in set 2. They are trailing by 5. Mike Jordan needs some time to talk to his team. They're unbelievable. Meanwhile, they come out for this woman, Kanani Danielson. She's gotten 3 of the 8 points so far in this set. She's been big.
And 6 kills, no errors. She's hitting 600. Remember, these numbers are much like in baseball. If you're batting over 300, you're doing great. If you're hitting as an outside hitter over 300, you're doing great. Tonight, she's hitting 600. Amazing. Her season average is 339. That's very impressive also. She is a big part of the reason why this UH team is vying for a very high seed come the NCAA selection process, which will be announced next Sunday.
Next Sunday on ESPN News, we're going to find out who comprises the field of 64 and why. There's some teams like Hawaii that will be in, and they're really talking about seeds. Some teams like New Mexico State that may be in, may not be, but they certainly would be in if they were able to somehow come over Hawaii win today.
They would have to, I think they're going to have to win this. The other route that Coach Jordan talked about was winning against Colorado State on Colorado State's floor next Saturday to add to their body of work. Wow. How high can Kaufman get off the ground? That's awesome.
Kaufman doesn't just get up high off the ground. She also hangs there for a little bit.
And that makes it easier for a setter to find you if you can kind of hover up there for a while and just decide, okay, I'll hit it here. Now I'll let it go a little farther, then I'll hit it.
Well, yeah, if you can levitate.
Good read.
Hawaii still digs it up. Outside push. They're trying to get a break in that block. Hawaii quick. Try again. They did get a swing off of Hawaii's hands. New Mexico State with a point and an opportunity.
You could see number 2 there, Amber Kaufman, a little bit late. She was guessing as a middle blocker for UH, a rare error for her, as she's been doing such a nice job. That time, Cubi-Otineru facing angle, but hitting it cross-body back to her left down the line. Good vision by her. That's the one time she gets to hit on the left side of the court in front of the setter on the far sideline.
Mafua serving. She put that set out beautifully to Otineru. Strong hands, soft hands. Now has to change directions to try to get this ball. A point for New Mexico State. The Aggies trailing by just 4 at this point. An opportunity for them to make a little bit of a push.
But again, they have Jenna DeVries at the net. Smaller blocker. Let's see if Hawaii goes at her. Yep, and she gets the block, actually, even though that won't count in the stats. This play continues.
It counts in her heart, I'm sure. And a long swing from New Mexico. They tried to get the touch, did not.
But that time, DeVries doing her job, even though she's not the biggest of blockers, but they'll have to expect when she's up there and there's a strong hitter for UH out there, that's the mismatch. Hawaii will go at that a lot.
As long as she can do that, she's going to convince Mike Jordan to stay with the 5-1. Swing wide from New Mexico State. They're making a lot of their own errors at this point.
There are better errors and there are worse errors. The better kind is when you get blocked and maybe it goes to the floor, but maybe somebody on your team can play it. But if you hit out, there's nothing anybody can do to save it.
Outside, it's a kill. A big kill for Kaylee Giddens.
So that's nice. She kept the ball in the court after making the error previously. New Mexico State definitely needs to do a better job keeping their serves in. Those are unforced errors. And hitting into the net or out, another unforced error.
Jenna DeVries now in the backcourt. The blocking issue, not a factor for New Mexico State. However, serves are still an issue.
New Mexico State now having missed 5, maybe 6 serves. Yep, 6 or 5 errors there. Each of those is a freebie for the other team. Didn't even need a pulse to get that point.
Yep, when you consider the 4 aces that Hawaii has, that's a pretty big swing of points.
And probably at least 3 of those, we get the 4 aces, but there are probably 3 or 4 that have not been counted as aces, but led to a direct point because of the overpass.
Right. Little lunch for Kanani Danielson, overpassing right to her. Beautiful set. Stephanie Farrell puts it away in the opposite.
Yeah, Mafua doing a nice job. She's really worked on a lot of parts of her game, according to the coaching staff, working on her footwork, squaring up. She didn't have enough time to square up on that one and making better choices, so that is what we call going the long way. She ran forward and then set behind, and there's an example on the other side of the net. Long way, set back, cross court, just what UH was looking for. Woods still wins.
Whitney Woods, they want her in New Mexico State to get going. She is the key to their success tonight. Exactly,
and now UH was thinking we want to get 2 blockers, not 1 in front of her, that being her 5th kill there.
Whitney Woods' first team all WAC this year, big part of their offense. Of course, there's the player of the year. Smack!
Talk about elevating. She loves the height of that set. You can see when hitters run in really fast, they can transfer more of that horizontal motion into vertical. She's hitting that about the top of the antenna just annihilating that ball down the line.
Cover your face when Kanani Danielson goes up. Wow. Outside the middle, nice turn.
That's another thing we saw in the walkthrough today is getting what we call right side help. And number 11, Dani Mafua, the setter for Hawaii, involving herself in the play, getting a touch, but she wasn't able to quite keep it going. That's another part of her game that the coaches say has really improved. Improving her defense and her blocking.
Cubi-Otineru, oh my goodness. Take cover when Kanani Danielson leaves the floor. They're bringing Kanani Danielson out for a little bit of a rest.
And she may need one after that.